Okay, hello, folks on the East Coast, West Coast, all the ships at sea, and all the service personnel abroad. This is your friend of mine, Art Williams of Wandering Salsero, broadcasting live from International Wandering Salsero headquarters in beautiful Barranquilla, South America. And welcoming on the show today, Mrs. Jackie Windish, and she's with a cool company, and we're going to learn a little bit more about it today because it's a fascinating business that we're in. And I'm sure we'll all agree there's plenty of opportunity to go around for everybody. Jackie, good morning. How are you, young lady?
Good morning. I'm well. Like I told you earlier before we had company, it's really early here. Being retired, I'm usually up about this time, but not camera ready. So we had to put a little effort into getting our bucket up earlier this morning. But Plexus helps me with that, so that was an easy task.
You're out there in California, not too far from the Hollywood Squares, aren't you?
We're about, from Hollywood proper, we're probably about 80 to 100 miles south.
Now, you're in south of that, so that would be
San Diego, California.
San Diego, yeah. If somebody was to describe what would you say San Diego was most famous for?
Weather.
Weather? Yeah. It was nice when I was there. I remember that.
Yeah, we have until I don't know, this global warming thing's got me all messed up, but we had some unseasonably hot and humid weather this summer, which we're not used to. But average year-round temperature is like 75. I mean, we really, but the problem is we've had no rain. California is in big trouble drought-wise.
I've heard, yeah.
And, we're on 5 acres here, and we have about 3.5 acres of that is mowing grass. And we've not been able to water. We were using reclaimed water, and our pond dried up for the first time in 50 years.
Wow.
This year. So it's a serious issue here.
I'm from Texas, and maybe you recall over the last year and a half, 2 years, Texas has had some problems. They had some rain a few months ago, and it sort of caught up. But you know, you can't. There's a limit to how much you can catch up when you go 2 or 3 years having drought conditions.
Yeah, they're saying even if we have our El Nino this year, which we're pretty sure is going to happen, it won't catch us up, but it'll sure help. I mean, we'll be grateful for whatever we get. Mm-hmm. We're about 12. My home is about 12 miles in from Ocean's Edge, and we've been in the high 90s for weeks, which is really unusual for us. And we're coming into our fire season. And,
wow.
September, October is typically a bad season for us if it stays hot. So we're really praying that everything goes well this year and we don't have really bad fires. We've had some, not close to me, but in the state of Washington, oh my gosh, they're in really bad shape.
Wow. Well, Jackie, I do know that you're in a huge niche of the MLM business, and from what I understand, you're with a good company too. Tell us about your company and your product, and maybe first, if you wouldn't mind, start with your background in the business in your own career.
Okay, I retired about 6 years ago. I was a purchasing agent for large manufacturing companies. I loved it. I did it for 35 years. Absolutely loved it. What I didn't love was the 60 to 70 hour work weeks. And as the economy got tighter, middle management got tighter. So you wore a few more hats and stayed a few more hours. And you all know how that goes. So about 6 or 7 years ago, 6 years ago, I decided to retire, and so did the economy. My husband's in real estate. I don't need to tell you how that went. And I had always worked. So I thought after 6 months of cleaning house and cleaning the tile with the toothbrush and sitting around, doing nothing, I thought I got to find something to do or I'm going to go nuts. So, and I'm going to drive my husband nuts. And he's always worked for home. He's in real estate, and he's done real estate in Orange County and San Diego for 30 years. So he always stays busy. And like I said, we're on 5 acres, so there's always something to do here at the ranch. But I started looking for something to do, and I found a handbag company, which is just silly for me because I am so not into handbags. I could care less if I had, a $5 handbag or a $500 handbag. I'm just not into it. But
or a paper sack.
Pardon me?
Or a paper sack.
Yeah, didn't matter to me. I don't care. It has to be functional. I don't care what it looks like. It has to be functional for me. I have to be able to have my stuff. But I really like the structure of the company, and I had never done direct sales before. And I thought, oh, what the heck? Give it a try. And we were approved for a distributorship, which was a very costly endeavor. Excuse me. And so we bought into the distributorship and started our business and built a team. And about a year and a half into that, the company dissolved the distributorships. And we all became ambassadors of the company. Still love the company, still love the product, but I was stuck with about $28,000 worth of inventory.
Wow.
Which I'm still trying to get rid of. And over the year, over the 4.5 years I was with the company, they just kept making some changes. And every time they make the change, it would kind of dig into my pocketbook a little bit. And I thought, this is not what I signed up for. So I began looking around for something else to do. Plus, I was getting older and schlepping big totes of handbags to home parties where I've got 50 people coming in. You get there and one person comes and she doesn't buy anything. You've all been there, I'm sure.
It was a party plan model?
Correct.
I like that model. I think that's a fun model.
It can be a fun model, but I think with internet, it's not going to be like it used to be.
Really? Think so?
Absolutely. When you can buy something online, or you can look at my product and I can show you how it works. Why would you have 50 people come in your home messing up your house?
Well, the only reason in my mind would be the social part of it, but of course, there's enough for different approaches in the industry, of course.
Exactly. So anyway, to make that story go away, I had some fairly serious health issues. I'm proud to say I'm a 37-year ovarian cancer survivor.
Wow.
I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer when I was 29 years old, and had a 7-year-old daughter to raise. And I'm going, this is not a good thing. So 4.5 years of chemotherapy and radiation and 3 surgeries. Here I am, and I'm grateful every day.
Wow.
So because of that, my digestive system was just so compromised with scar tissue and the damage that the radiation had done and the hysterectomy and all of those other things. And I had just pretty much chalked it off to, well, that's just what I get. Be grateful that you're here. Don't worry about your stomach.
You look healthy now.
Pardon me?
You look fine now.
Oh, thank you very much. I try. And I have Plexus to thank for that, because I literally would have been a house hermit. My digestive system got so bad that I couldn't plan anything. My daughter loves the beach and she loves galleries and she's kind of artsy fartsy. And she'd say, Mom, let's go to Laguna and have lunch and walk around the galleries. Couldn't do it. They don't have a restroom. Those little boutique places don't have restrooms. So everything I ate pretty much went through me in about 20 minutes. And I was crampy, bloated, gassy, miserable. So I found myself day after day saying, oh, I can't because of my stomach, or I'm having a bad tummy day, or I don't really feel well today. And it didn't dawn on me until I was with my daughter, who had her friend there, who's my upline gal, my angel, I call her. And I was saying the same thing to my daughter, and Bonnie piped in and she said, you have candida. And I went, what's candida?
I've heard of that. I don't recall what it is, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. And unfortunately, probably 80 to 90% of the population has it to some degree. And you can Google candida and symptoms of candida and diseases that can be caused by candida. So 80% of our bodies are dependent upon our gut health.
I'm aware. I've read a lot about that recently. Yeah.
And it's becoming a real buzzword in the health and wellness industry. And people are finding out that if you don't have good gut health, you're not going to feel well no matter what you're taking.
Now, I've also heard, is this true, that everybody's gut health, it's almost like your fingerprint. Everybody's gut menagerie is unique, isn't it?
Yep.
And a lot of it's even somewhat determined by your environment. Some people are more tolerant to, like, maybe, for example, sugars than others, or different stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The big contributors to candida are, number one is sugar. And we all know that cancer feeds off of sugar. Number one. Number 2 would be alcohol. 3 is prescription medicine. 4 is stress. Who doesn't have some of those in their life? So, and with my particular case, because my digestive system was so sluggish, it had time for all of that candida to grow. So the best analogy I can give is if you had, picture melted mozzarella cheese stuck to your bowels and your guts and your organs and your intestines, and you're bloated, you're gassy, you feel awful, everything you eat makes you crampy, and then you decide, that's it, I'm going to eat healthy for the next 60 days. So you eat all of this good nutrition and you take good vitamins and you don't drink any soda pop and you're still feeling lousy. Well, what's happening is that mozzarella cheese is stuck there been there for a long, long time. So all of the good food that you're eating sticks to that mozzarella cheese and it rots. So now you have rotting food in your system. So then you're going to maybe crop up with diabetes. You're going to crop up with allergies you've never had before. You're going to break out in hives. You could have vertigo. You could have migraine headaches. And so you run to the doctor and the doctor goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me give you some of this. And they put you on some strong steroid thing, or they give you an antibiotic, which only adds to the problem. Prescription medicine is one of the biggest contributors to candida. So I talked to Bonnie and I said, explain more to me than this. And she said, you're going to laugh at me, but she says, tomorrow morning, I want you to do a spit test. And I went, oh, for heaven's sakes, what are you talking about? And she said, it's not scientific, it's not recommended by doctors, but it's a very good indication as to whether you have candida. And she said, I'm sure that you do. So for those of you out in the audience, it's kind of gross, but it's kind of fun. Yeah. If you want to know if you have, it's an indication. I can't say you have. It's an indication that you could have candida in your system. And like I said, probably 80% of the people in here do. Tomorrow morning, when you go to bed tonight, take a bottle of water. It needs to be filtered water or bottled water. And a glass. It has to be a glass. Put 6 to 8 ounces of water in that glass. Go to bed. When you wake up tomorrow morning, pour 6 to 8 ounces of that water in a glass. Work up a little. Don't brush your teeth. Don't take a sip of water. Don't have coffee. Nothing. Work up a little bit of spit and spit right in the center of that glass. Go away. Go brush your teeth. Have your coffee. Start your day. Come back in 30 minutes and tell me what you see. If it's floating on top, you're good to go. If it's stringing down to the bottom, or it's sunk, or the water's really cloudy, it's a very good indicator. Baby girl says done that. And it's a good indication that you have candida in your system. So I took my bottle of water and I went on about my morning and came back in 30 minutes. And it was nasty. So I called Bonnie. I took a picture of it and I texted it to Bonnie, and she goes, oh, that's not good. So she put me on 2 products that we have that I will never be without in my lifetime. And ones are very, very strong, fabulous ProBio 5. Looks like this. And it's probably top of the line probiotic. Oh, I digress. She said, you need to be on a probiotic. I said, been there, done that, been on Align, which is an over-the-counter recommended by my daughter probiotic. Says, been on one, doesn't help me. She goes, you haven't been on a good probiotic. So there's millions of probiotics out there, people, and I encourage you to read up on it. They say, oh,
Can you tell us what a probiotic is? It's a word that we hear a lot, and I've never heard anybody actually. I mean, I think it's similar to yogurt.
Yogurt has a probio in it. It's active enzymes that kill off the bad bacteria. When you have radiation and chemotherapy, it kills everything. It kills the good and it kills the bad, and you have to replace it. People that eat the Activia and stuff like that, it certainly helps balance the good bacteria in your system. But it's about, well, I'm going to be coughing this morning. So sorry. You want to have something that has active enzymes in it, and it doesn't mean refrigerated, people. Please don't go out and say, oh my God, I got to buy a probiotic that's when you think about it, you're putting that probiotic in the refrigerator, but it's going into your system that's at 98.6 degrees. If it didn't work in 98.6 degrees, why the hell would you freeze it or put it in the refrigerator? So don't buy into that hocus pocus stuff. We have over 27 different strains that this will treat. And so you can take 5 or 6 probiotics, or you can take ours. And I can guarantee you, and it took me about 6 days. And at the end of that 6th day, I went, there might be something to this. I wasn't in the bathroom every afternoon at 3 o'clock. I wasn't crampy and bloaty and feeling miserable. I was also taking the BioCleanse, which when I say BioCleanse, people immediately start backing up because they think it's going to be some kind of colonic. And it is not. Because I told her, I said, I don't have any trouble in that area. Don't be giving me stuff that's going to send me back in the bathroom. But what it does is the probiotic kills off the candida and the bad bacteria. The cleanse breaks it off the wall and allows you to flush it out. That's all it is. It's a very gentle once or twice a day to keep everything regular. And that's what Plexus is all about. It's not about weight loss. And I really wish they would change. This is our #1 selling product, and it's called Plexus Slim. And it's the most fabulous product on the market. But people see that Slim and they went, oh, that's it. I'm going to take Slim and I'm going to lose 20 pounds this month. Plexus is so not a weight loss program. What Plexus does is it helps you balance your system so that it's working optimally. When you're healthy and you're drinking the water and you're moving 30 minutes a day, you're going to balance the inside and the outside will come into play. And we've had amazing success stories, as you saw. People have lost hundreds of pounds on Plexus, but it's not a diet. It's not a weight loss program.
So weight loss is one potential tangible benefit?
Correct. It will help once your body is rid of the candida. The Slim, it's just a little packet. In fact, I brought a sample so I can show you how it works today, if you would like to see it. But it's just one little packet a day. And it looks like Crystal Light. It's pomegranate cherry. Mm-hmm. It's naturally sweetened with stevia. There's no sugar, no chemicals, no GMOs. I can't say the word. Help me with it, baby girl. Chlorogenic acid. I can't say it. Never been able to say it. Acid? I'm sorry, Art?
Chlorogenic acid?
Thank you. I just can't say it.
Yeah.
But that's it, she says. Thank you. Hi, Christy. So you start your day with the Plexus Slim, and what that immediately starts doing to your system is pulling everything into line. It was originally formulated for diabetics to help them regulate blood sugar. And so it helps regulate your blood sugar. It helps with your lipid levels. It helps with anxiety. It helps people with arthritis because it reduces the inflammation in your body. You sleep like a baby. I've never slept better in my life. Not that I ever had a lot of trouble sleeping. Mm-hmm. I think there's a difference between good sleep and restful sleep, or sleep and restful sleep. Yeah. I was sleeping, I just wasn't sleeping restfully. And once a day. And all you do is you just take it, drink a little bit of the water out of your bottle so that you have room to shake it. Mm-hmm. Pour it right in. Put the cap back on. You shake it up and go on your way once a day. And it's the most miracle, the sustained energy I get from this. And I don't mean hopped up. I mean just a nice sustained energy. I don't have that 3 o'clock dip. One of the biggest things that it does is it helps you overcome sugar cravings. If you have an addiction to soda pop, if you have an addiction to See's candy, after about day 3, you're looking for tomatoes and carrots. You're not looking for the sugar fix. This is very sweet, which I'm not used to. I'm an iced tea hound. I'm not a soda pop hound. So if you find that it's very, very, cholesterol levels, blood pressure, you're right, baby girl. Thank you. I forget all of the benefits just from one packet a day. You know, and some people do too. If you're going to be running a marathon, you've got a super stressful day, you're going to be at work 12 or 15 hours. Take a second one at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon just to get you through your day. It's helped people with migraines. I have a client that had migraines 3 to 4 times a week. I can't even imagine. I've never had a migraine in my life. I get sinus headaches, not as much anymore because I cleaned out the bacteria. But we hear they haven't had migraines in a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
my mother had a.
Oh, I can't imagine. So debilitating.
Migraines, yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine. I don't know how I would deal with it.
It was pretty painful from what I remember her, yeah.
Well, they go to bed. They go to bed or they go to ER. You know, they have to get shots to get rid of the pain. And it just literally, people have lost jobs because of migraines because they miss so much work. So if this is what it took for me to get rid of a headache, I'd be having this in my cupboard all the time. As it is, I have this in my purse. I have it in my travel stuff. I'm never without my probiotic because I thought after 60 days, or about 90 days, it took me a long time to get rid of all of the candida because mine was so bad. I thought, oh, I'm well. So I went off the product and I just bought the Slim. I didn't buy the ProBio and the Cleanse. I'm telling you what, that candida came back before God got the news, just
really?
Because of my personal digestive system. I don't process things as quickly as most other people. So I will always have to be on a probiotic. Always, always, always.
What now is that the typical experience of somebody though that uses a product? In other words, are there other people who use the product that once they clear it up, they don't have to use a probiotic anymore?
I would say no. I would say, you know, we give it to kids, we give it to our dogs. You can give it to your pets. I mean, they don't say that, but you can give it to children. I think with the kinds of foods that we're all eating, especially children, the processed foods, the canned foods, the fruit roll-ups that are full of just stuff that you don't even want to know about. I think until we eat clean,
yeah,
we're all going to have to be on a probiotic.
You don't know what I can believe. A lot of people ask me, they tell me, gee, Art, you don't look 71. And I think part of the reason that maybe I'm in reasonably good health is because I've never smoked or drank, other than a few little unique smoking habits in college, been a long time ago. But I've always had and then been overseas a lot of my life too, and being a bachelor. I've always in Southeast Asia, I've always eaten pretty much like they eat over there. Being single at home, I never used to eat a lot of meat because I just always ate stuff that was easy for a bachelor to make. Vegetable stuff and pasta with a little tuna fish and stuff like that. So
there you go. Yeah. Well, you look healthy. You sure look healthy. But I don't think, especially at my age, I'm 66, I don't think I can eat enough good food during the day that I won't need this.
Mm.
Regardless. If I went on straight organic, there's just no way. Not in today's society. Plus, I can't eat that many calories. If I ate that many calories to get the nutrition I need, I'd weigh 300 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I think America is getting smarter. I hope America is getting smarter thanks to things like the internet. And when you listen to a commercial on television about any medication, I don't care what it is, it could be for acne, and they talk about the product this long, and they talk about the side effects for the next 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to risk having a stroke, seizures, all of that stuff because of a pimple? I mean, I know acne is a serious thing, and I don't mean to treat it lightly. I'm just saying that I personally, and I'll probably get bashed for this, but I personally think that the pharmaceutical industries are manufacturing medicine to make you take more medicine.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like that old 60s song, Pusher Man.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, well, it was back in the days of King Crimson and Jefferson Airplane and stuff like that. That somebody, I don't know if it was Stone Temple Pilots or somebody had a song called Pusher Man. That's when, of course, they pass out the free drugs to the kids to get them hooked. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've always been against prescription medicine. When I got off my chemotherapy drug, I swore I'd never take another pill as long as I lived. And I had to be pretty much dead or dying to take even a Tylenol. So I've always been against prescription meds. But something dawned on me a few months ago when I went in for my physical with my doctor. And a couple of times I've taken my husband in. Every time we've gone in, here come these guys in suits and girls in these cute suits with salads and sandwiches and all of this. And they're setting up in the my doctor's office's conference room. And come to find out, you know, in their other little bag of tricks over here are all of these samples of medication. So every time my husband's a diabetic and high blood pressure and high cholesterol and all of that stuff, he's getting better because I've got him on Plexus unwillingly, but he's taken it and he's feeling better. He's lost 40 pounds this year.
Wow.
They were saying, oh, here, I want you to try these samples. This is the new blood pressure medicine. This is the new cholesterol medicine. So sure enough, when John would go in to have his meds checked and his numbers read, they'd switch his medicine up. And I said, why the hell do they keep changing your meds? What's wrong with the meds? Oh, he wanted me to try this because he thought it would lessen that. And I went, you're buying into this sales crap. It's all about, let's sell this. And some of these are really expensive. I mean, thank God for our retirement benefits and stuff. But they're just trying to get the newest, latest, greatest thing in your body.
They're just experimenting and making money. They're getting paid to experiment on average people. Yeah.
Right. And you go to pick up your prescription and it's a little bottle about this big, but the pamphlet they give you folds out into about 9 sections.
Yeah.
That's in tiny, tiny print that you probably would never read. And when you do read it, it should scare the heck out of you.
So, Jackie, let me ask you this: Could you assign maybe even a ballpark economic benefit? In other words, to look at the Plexus products not as money spent on a product, but as maybe money saved on something else?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. For all of these products, I mean, these are just I take my ProBio, my cleanse. I take my pink drink every day. And I take an X Factor vitamin, which I don't have in here, which is amazing because I've never taken vitamins before that didn't make me feel crummy. Mm-hmm. It's under $5 a day.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know, or maybe $6. You know, if I add the X Factor, it's maybe $6 a day. Mm-hmm. People spend more than that at Starbucks. Mm-hmm. People spend more than that on junk food during the day. If you go to McDonald's, I don't think you can drive through McDonald's anymore for under $7 or $8.
No.
You know, so when people tell me, oh, I can't, and you know, I just really can't afford to spend that $100 a month right now. And it's like, really? You can't, I don't know why people's health comes last. It just absolutely floors me. They can justify spending money on a handbag. They can justify spending money on shoes or movie tickets or whatever, but they won't take care of themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and I also find that the people that need Plexus the most are the most reluctant to try it, mm-hmm. not to try it, but to stay on it because it's a commitment. When you decide to take care of your health, you're not committing to the $100 a month or the $50 a month or whatever it is. You're committing that you're going to try and take better care of yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because there's not a plan out there that's going to do it all for you unless you help yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me this: how's your organization going? Do you have an org?
You broke up just a little bit, Art. I'm sorry.
How is your downline going? Are you building an organization?
I call it my accidental business. I joined a year ago, January. So I've been in about a year and a half. And I went in very quietly because I was still selling the handbags over here. I went in very quietly just to take care of me. I just wanted my own products. And so I did that for a few months. And then, like so many of us, I joined so I could get my products at wholesale. So I did that for a few months. And then all of a sudden.
That saves you what, maybe 20, 25%?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a significant amount. And all of a sudden somebody signed up under me and I went, what is this? You know, and it happened to be somebody I knew. And when I started, I go back. When I started feeling a little bit better, I commented on Facebook, this plexus stuff must work, because I'm feeling better today. And so I would post things here and there about how I felt. This girl signed up under me, and then somebody else signed up, and somebody else signed up, and I went, oh my gosh. So I posted a little bit more. So I call it my accidental business, Art. I have a team of about 40.
How did they know where to sign up? Did you leave your affiliate page link on Facebook or something?
I would typically talk with them. The first girl, I sure didn't. I don't know how. On our page, when you go to my page, it's Shop Plexus or Join Plexus. And it's pretty much a standard click and move forward kind of thing. It's very simple to sign up, and it's very inexpensive to sign up. So even which is the only thing I would say as an ambassador, it's a little unfortunate because people sign up to get the wholesale. They don't necessarily sign up to work the business. So you've got your people that are taking the products and loving them and doing well. And then you have the people that are joined to build a business and benefit from it financially. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a give and take. So out of my team of 47, I probably got 27 that are working the business. The others are there to just take care of their health and their families.
I think that's okay.
Absolutely.
You have no issue wrong with having that residual income from people that are committed to the product.
Absolutely. And for a lot of my girls, I have a couple of guys, but for a lot of the ladies, it's that $300 or $400 a month. It's their money. They feel independent. They don't have to rely on their husbands if they want to go buy that handbag or they want to go on a shopping day and lunch with the girls. It's their money. Yeah. And it's that little bit of independence, especially my young working moms. They got a couple of babies at home. If young women today have 2 children at home, they can't afford to go to work. Childcare is unreasonable.
Really? I
mean, you want the best care for your children, and I totally get that. But by the time you buy clothes and you buy lunch and you spend money on gasoline and you pay for the babysitter, they're not making any money, and you got to pay taxes. So do I stay at home or do I go out and work in the workforce?
Yeah.
So a lot of my stay-at-home moms are just looking for that extra $300 or $400 a month. They're not looking to retire off of it.
What is the proportion of ladies to gentlemen in your company?
I only have 2 guys. Out of the 47, I only have 2 guys.
No, I mean in the company, in Plexus.
Oh.
Because it looked like it was mostly ladies on the website.
It is. Our top executives are men and scientists. And I mean, they're just such a brilliant group of guys. Probably 90% women, I would say. Although I have to say, we have lots and lots of husband and wife teams. Uh-huh. The wife will join. She's doing well. She's feeling great. She's looking sharp. The guy goes, all right, what are you doing? So once you reach gold level, your husband can join with you and you can operate 2 separate businesses.
Yeah.
So the other thing that's really, well, we'll talk about that later, but go ahead.
You mentioned 2 businesses. Is it a binary or a unilevel or a stair-step breakaway or what?
I believe it's binary.
Binary. Okay.
I haven't read a whole lot yet about.
One moment, please.
Gosh.
Matter of fact, I think I will. Thank you very much. That's real Rocky Mountain spring water. Come on down to the store and get some today for your family.
Goodness. Sorry about that, people. I hate it when that happens. Hi, Robert. Hi, Mike.
Hola, Roberto. ¿Cómo está?
If you want to talk about the comp plan or that, I'm happy to share it. It's just one like I've never seen, but I've not seen a lot of them, so I can't say it's for sure the best, but it sure is generous.
Do they pay monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, or what?
Both.
Both. Okay.
We make our commission monthly.
Uh-huh.
We make our bonuses weekly.
Mm-hmm.
So you're always getting paid for something.
And I would presume they have some sort of incentive program, like a car program of some kind?
We sure do. We have the Plexus Lexus.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that, yeah.
Yeah, we have lots of Lexuses. There's a little gal in Texas, and I'm sure baby girl has heard about her. Everybody's heard about her in our industry. She was a little stay-at-home mom. That's all she wanted to be. She was fortunate enough her husband made good money. She didn't need to work. She wanted to lose 30 pounds of baby weight after her last child was born. And she found her upline gal, started Plexus, and lost her 30 pounds and kept sending customers over to Jen. And Jen says, why don't you just spend the $34.95 and join the company? She goes, I don't want to do direct sales. I can't sell anything.
Nope.
Absolutely. I mean, she was adamant. I'm not in her. I don't want to work. I just want to be a mommy.
Yeah.
And so she sent about 30 customers over to Jen Hawkins, and Jen finally called her and said, that's it. I'm paying you $34.95 and you're going to join this company. And she goes, whatever. I just want my products. That's all I want. And that was just at about 2 years ago. That same little mom in a little town in Texas is now making over $100,000 a month. A month.
Wow.
Her team last month sold $14 million worth of product.
Wow. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. She had a big following. She's a good Christian girl. They do a lot of missionary work. She knows lots and lots of people. And she just shared. And that, we don't call it selling, we call it sharing. Mm-hmm. I don't push the weight loss part of it because obviously it hasn't worked for me because I don't quit doing this. I'm a good Southern raised girl. I shouldn't say I'm not raised Southern. My mother was a Southern cook and everything had gravy and butter and, on it. So I love food, but I push the probiotic only because that's what worked for me. Mm-hmm. So that's my audience. I want the chronic pain people. I want the migraine people. I want the diabetics. I want the people that have arthritis and inflammation in their joints, because that's what I speak to, and so the people that have been very successful in this industry are sharing from their own experience.
Mm-hmm. How do you sell, Jackie? What is for you? What is your philosophy for selling and recruiting, selling the product and the opportunity? How do you do it? Avenue-wise, I do Facebook. I'm just learning Periscope. I'm not much of a Periscoper, only because the interaction with the rolling screen and the comments and the hearts bubbling up at me tends to distract me. But Blab, I'm so in love with Blab. It's such an amazing community for getting our voice out there. I just share my own experience. When I tell people about the mozzarella cheese and the spit test, they're like, it's like, oh my God, I didn't know I had this in my body. And it scares the heck out of them. And I think because of the internet, because of all of the publicity that's been out there with processed foods and bad medications and pharmaceutical companies, I think America is getting smarter because we can find out things now that we couldn't find out 20 years ago. Well, are you saying that you think there's do you find that there's a lot of opportunities that come across in front of you during your typical day where you can step in and somehow mention the subject? Do you find it?
I'm not real aggressive. Therefore I'm not making $100,000 a month, and not that Celeste is either. But I take the opportunity when it becomes available. I just don't put. I post on Facebook probably 3 or 4 times a day, but never about the same product. And I don't believe you're going to get anybody's attention until it speaks to something that they're concerned about.
Yeah, sure.
If I put something on there about the X Factor vitamin, and your hair and your nails are going to grow like they've never grown before, and somebody's had a horrible problem with hair loss, they're going to go, tell me more about X Factor. So until a specific story or a specific product speaks to them, you don't have an audience.
Yeah.
They could care less about the weight loss. They could care less about they're not a diabetic, so they don't want to hear about the pink drink. So I think it's just variety in how I approach it. When I'm out in public, I'm not as brave. I don't look in somebody's grocery basket and go, oh, that's bad for you. You need to be taking this. But when I see people in pain and when I see people suffering, I'll say, have you thought about maybe, going on something that maybe could help you? And we get into conversations and we talk.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just not real high pressure. But I'm also not looking. I love the residual income, and it's helped me. It supplements my Social Security, which I love.
Yeah.
But I don't work it as hard as a lot of people do.
I just thought I would mention you personally. I don't like Facebook, but you mentioned Facebook. Have you ever heard of a guy named Max Steingart?
No, I have not.
It's been a long time since I looked at his webpage, and he probably still he does a lot of free webinars. I don't remember what he calls his program, but he has a program that's specifically designed for people to sell via connections they make on Facebook. And apparently I think his course is around $300 or so, but he apparently has a viable method. Back in the early days, I'm thinking it was at least 10 years ago, probably 15 years ago, because I remember I had a roommate back in Houston that had one of his courses back when he used to teach people how to make contact on Skype. Mm-hmm. And then this was when Skype was reasonably big, but before Facebook was pretty big. And even back then, my friend, I forget what he was in. He was in something at the time. I was in a few things back in Houston in those days. But he sold some stuff then. But he's been focusing pretty much on Facebook, and he just says, people aren't going to do business with you until they get to know you. And I mean,
absolutely.
If you're looking for people, if you got access to millions of people, and then Facebook has a pretty good search algorithm if you know how to use it. So might be something you.
Yeah, it's all about relationships, Art. Absolutely. I would no more I wouldn't buy from you until I knew who you were and what you were about. It's the integrity. A lot of my handbag clients are now Plexus clients because they liked the way I treated them when I was, selling the handbags. So a lot of those people transitioned with me. Even some of my team members from the handbag industry came over to be Plexus ambassadors. So absolutely, it's about relationships. They either they know, like, and trust you, or they don't. And baby girl might present better than I do about something. And so they're going to buy from her because they like her better, or they know her longer, or they trust her more than they trust me. So yeah, until you build, especially with healthcare and wellness, if it's a candle, if it's a purse, if it's jewelry, that's more of an impulse buy. Oh my God, I love that. I got to have it. With health and wellness, it's like, what is this stuff? And they'll research it a little bit, and they'll listen, and they'll look for other data on it. Yeah. So it's not a fast buy.
It's not going to be on their wrist. It's going to be down their throat. Yeah.
Exactly. What am I putting in my system, and why should I believe you? And so we try and give them lots of data. We try and give them testimony. We try and give them any scientific. Man, we don't have a lot of scientific. I don't get into the scientific part of it other than the ingredients. We always, with my customers at least, I give them a complete list of every ingredient that's in every single product. Fax this over to your doctor's office. Make sure it's not going to interact with any of the medications that you're on. But what I find is there's hardly a doctor out there that's going to support wellness in a supplement. They want you to take that prescription stuff. They don't want you to take a supplement,
Let me ask you this. We've talked about the product and about your background. What about the company? What kind of people are they, and how do they treat you, and what's their offer? What's their riding style?
They are, I don't want to say good old boys, but they're probably the most approachable. Alec and Tarl, I went to conference. They're based out of Scottsdale, Arizona, and the products are actually manufactured there. So everything's manufactured in the U.S., which means a lot to me. Mm-hmm. But, you could walk up to Tarl and say, I need to talk to you about, could we use this graphic? And he would listen, and he would take notes. And they're just approachable, stand up. Supplements are not, the FDA does not certify supplements, but I can tell you that I know for a fact that Plexus invites the FDA to come in and sit at their table and go over things, and we stay on the right side of the FDA at all times. If they make suggestions, we do it. We don't want to be trying to pass something off that's not true. They monitor what we say very carefully. We cannot say, oh, it'll cure cancer. Oh, it'll cure diabetes. No, it'll help you balance your body. We are allowed to say that. Does it work the same for everybody? Not at all. And so they're very careful about what we say. We can't make up our own graphics. We can't go willy-nilly and make up a Plexus logo somewhere and slap it on something. The compliance part of the company is very strict, but they're also very accessible. Can we do this? Oh, I don't know. Let's look into it.
Yeah.
They give us a huge amount of resources to use. In our back office, we can send out videos to people that are interested in the business opportunity. We can send videos on each one of the products. Facebook is a huge resource for us with regard to testimony. Most of the team leaders have their own pages for testimonies and stuff, which they're always happy to share. The community of Plexus ambassadors is probably some of the best people I've ever known in my life. You're talking about a woman that's making $100,000 a month, and she will come to your town and speak to your team, and she will come to your town and speak to at an opportunity meeting. And we have our opportunity meetings at Lexus dealerships, which is kind of fun. But yeah, absolutely, baby girl. They're a huge Christian company, very benevolent company. I'm very proud to be associated with them. We made the list for the Inc. 500 magazine. We applied the very first year and we made it, and we wound up on the list as number 8 in the world out of a list of 500 companies, and we were number 2 in health. So you don't do that.
Sales or reputation, or in terms of what criteria?
Fastest growing direct sales companies in the world.
Okay. Is the company, have they gone international yet?
Yeah, we have some international because of specific laws in other countries. We're in Canada, we're in Australia, the UK. We can ship our Plexus Slim and something else. I can't. There's 2 or 3 products we can ship, but yeah, they're getting ready to go big international. They pretty much concentrated on domestic sales for the last 5 or 6 years, and now that we have a product base of about 14 products. They just came out in June with about the only product that was missing from our health pie was the omega-3s, which are so important for brain health and nerve health and all of that. And we just came out with our own in June, and it's just gone to market, and it's just flying off the shelves. I mean, all of us should be taking omegas. Yeah. But so out of 14 products, other countries are adapting them slowly as the data becomes available to them.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a web techie, or?
Oh God, no.
No.
I know just enough to be dangerous.
That little thing that I put in there, Market Hive, it's a pretty unique. It's a social network for entrepreneurs.
Oh, okay.
And it's hard to explain, but it's pretty cool, and it's free. I would recommend you take a look at it. The guy that owns it is a good friend of mine. He's been in the business for years. Let me just share something with you. Are you familiar with a concept called customer centric? You ever heard that term?
I have not.
Are you aware that Vima last week, about 10 days ago, got a FTC complaint?
Yep.
The friend that I originally met through a company that has since been sold, called Veritech. They were the first company to invent the term automated marketing. Tom has been in the internet for many years. Matter of fact, I think his AOL number is something like 80 or something like that. But after him,
I was probably 81.
Really? Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, I remember back when
I was on
everything.
AOL when it was $2.95 a minute, and
Really?
I was making about $10 an hour. I was getting these $200 phone bills because I
Yeah.
wouldn't get
Yeah.
off the internet.
And
I
you,
remember.
and you used to see their CDs. There's CDs
Oh, everywhere. Yeah,
everywhere. Yeah.
everywhere. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the whole idea behind customer centric, and I was very intrigued when you said you had so many people that bought the product. Theoretically, someplace there's supposed to be some sort of federal guideline that companies have a certain proportion of retail sales, or however you classify that, retail sales to internal consumption. That a lot of the MLM industry detractors have criticized network marketing and MLM companies because they say the only reason people buy product is to qualify for promotions. Are you familiar? Does that make sense? I mean, some companies do that.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't know. I wouldn't feel that was the case with health and wellness.
Well, now, technically speaking, Vima is a wellness company, and that's what
Yes, they are.
that's what the FTC is saying about them. And they tried to say that Herbalife did that. I write for MLM magazine, and so I read a lot of these articles, and some of my stuff is more original than others. But Herbalife has done a better job at retail sales, and they don't require people to have auto ship. But there's a lot of companies that it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get into them and get any attention if you don't sign up on auto ship. But at any rate,
That's a choice my customers have. They can certainly use the auto ship program, but it's not required.
yeah, well, that's good. Well, that's what I was writing. The article I was spinning last night said that was one of the things that was good about Herbalife, is that was protecting them from more more stringent FTC scrutiny, because they didn't require people to be on auto ship, and their numbers that they made available show that they didn't. But you have a very good situation apparently with your company, that you have a lot of people that just buy it. But the whole idea behind customer centric is that the MLM companies of the future are going to have to be companies that have a product that people will buy regardless of the opportunity, that they'll buy it just because they want it, like the little lady that is making up with you, that's making $100,000 a month now. So that's good, and I think that I even here on Blab, with some of the people that are in MLM, when I see the way that they write about their company, I can tell they have that old fashioned keep them coming in the front door and going out the back door approach. But it sounds to me like Plexus is not like that, and I think that's good.
No, both of the gentlemen that head up our company have probably been in the MLM industry for quite a while. They came in with a lot of experience. So I know they're looking at, I don't know, just the overall integrity of the company. I would find it really, if I even got word or even had an inkling that there was something not right, I'd be gone, because I won't align myself with a company that doesn't have good integrity and doesn't do what they say they're going to do. So at this point, a year and a half into this, I've seen nothing but compliance. And they've taken products and revised them. They've taken, but we use the finest ingredients. We always use pharmaceutical grade and higher. And because it's 100% plant-based stuff, even our new Omega, it's the first in the world that's 100% plant-based. No fishy taste. It's no fishy burps. It's just amazing, which was attractive to me. But research. It was years in the making, and we had a problem in that one of the ingredients needed to be this thing called carrageenan. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, but basically what it is it's like a glue, a binder type of thing. And when you buy, like, for instance, if you buy vitamin E and it's in that soft gel capsule, well, that capsule has carrageenan in it to make the capsule stay together. Yeah. Well, when our Omega first came out, it had that in it. And we, as ambassadors and what have you, said, oh, no, we're not doing that. It's could be a known carcinogenic. There's a good There's a not so bad Carrageenan and a bad Carrageenan, and they did the not so bad, but we still said no. We don't want to give that. And by gosh, they said, okay, we will re-release it in 90 days without it, and they did. So they just listen, and they want to make sure that what they say they're going to do, they do.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Well, it certainly sounds like it's a company that has a lot to offer their customers as well as the opportunity. So that's great. Well, I really appreciate. We're getting close to 5 minutes here. Is there anything else about Plexus or your experience that you think would be worth mentioning while we're here?
No, I want to put my website down because I would love for you guys, anybody that's in here, to go take a look at the products. And on each page, you can look at the product. You can click over and you can look at the label, which will give you every single ingredient and all of the information about it. You can look at the price. You can look at joining Plexus. Like I said, for $34.95 a year, it's kind of a no-brainer why you wouldn't take the business opportunity. But in the same breath, when I say that, I kind of cut my paycheck because I certainly make more off of a buying customer than I do a bigger percentage, I should say, off a buying customer than I do an ambassador. But there again, it's, money and numbers. But if you were to, and one of the huge things that I forgot to mention is a 60-day money-back guarantee. Who does that on medicines?
Not many, a few, but not many.
Yeah. Do you get a 60-day money-back guarantee from your pharmacy? I don't think so. So we have people that have been on the products for 59 days. And I tell them, if you're not happy in 59 days, let's fix it. And I've been at this a year and a half, and I have yet to have one person return a product. I have not had any returns at all. And I let them know it's perfectly okay. It won't hurt my feelings, whatever, Some people have immediate results, like, within days. Some people, it takes three or 4 months, depending on how out of balance your system is. People have said, oh my God, I gained 7 pounds when I started on the Slim. And I went, really? And it scared me. I thought, why is this happening? It's because when you start drinking the Slim, you also start drinking a ton of water. Americans, as a rule, are running around dehydrated. When you tell somebody they've got to drink 80 to 100 ounces of water a day, they look at you like you've got 3 eyes. When in fact, the average body, regardless of your size, needs 80 ounces of water just to sustain your body balance. We all should be drinking that much. If you do the old, am I dehydrated test when your skin just kind of, drink more water. I thought I was drinking a gallon of iced tea a day, so I thought I'm getting plenty of water. I didn't know that I was dehydrating myself. So when we have people that say they gained weight, I go, just relax, just keep doing it, stay the course, keep doing what you're doing. Your body's absorbing all of this good stuff, and then it's going to go to work and it's going to start eliminating what you don't want. So just stay the course. But immediately they panic going, why am I gaining weight? It's because your body's taking in all the good stuff. It's taking in the water. It's hydrating all of those muscles and all of your skin. So don't panic. That's all I can say. But that's why we as ambassadors have to stay informed, and we have to stay on top of things, because everybody's body is different and it's going to react differently.
Yeah.
So, all I can tell you is it's absolutely worth staying on it for 60 to 90 days.
Yeah. Well,
I guarantee you're going to feel better.
Jackie, let me just mention before we say goodbye here, we're coming up on the top of the hour. If there's anybody else in some other part of the country, it's a member of your company that might like to be on our really big show. And you remember who said that, don't you?
I do.
Who?
Mr. Ed Sullivan.
Yes, right. Then I'd sure love to have him on. And also, if there's anybody, maybe, if somebody in the home office, like maybe your sales officer or something, if they'd like to come on board, I'd sure love to have him. I'm a writer for a magazine. It's not my decision, but they actually charge a subscription fee. I think some of the articles on there you can actually read for free. Some of them you can't. But it's called Obtainer-Online, Obtainer-online.com. I write 99.5% of their stuff on there. So, I try to keep my perspective going. But if anybody has any ideas, for a good article, that certainly our objective is to put stuff on there that benefits the industry, the MLM and direct selling industry as a WHOLE, not a HOLE.
Got it.
Yeah. Well, look, hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. It's an interesting and exciting story, and you're certainly. It's always nice to see a success in the industry because we aren't always as understood as we'd like to be.
No, and there's so many out there. I mean, all of them are good. It's just, do your research. But, health is just not something you want to mess with. So I encourage everybody to find, something that works for them because, as you get, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live, kind of thing. So you either prevent it now or treat it later.
Yeah, well, it's amazing what people fall for. Have you ever heard of, just to give you an example, have you ever heard of a company called Telex Free?
Yes.
Ooh, what a disaster. Up in Massachusetts. You ever heard of a company called U Fun Club in Thailand?
Mm-hmm.
And so you probably heard of Zeek Rewards. Remember them?
Yeah, vaguely.
They were in Nashville or something. And
for every good, but Art, for every good thing that we get, somebody figures out a way to screw it up or do something illegal or do something underhanded. It's so discouraging. It's like hackers. That's my new pet peeve is if they have that kind of talent and that kind of knowledge, why not do something productive instead of destructive? It just drives me nuts.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
I mean, I could get on my soapbox forever on that and we won't go there, but go to my website, check it out. I would love your feedback. I'd love your questions. If you'd like a sample of the Plexus Slim, just email me. I'm happy to send it out to you. I just want everybody to be healthy. I'm not looking to make the $100,000 a month. I don't think I have quite that much energy. She's in her 40s. I'm in my 60s. Been there, done that. Not that I ever made $100,000 a month, but I do it to share. I just feel so passionately about if you're young enough, start now. Take care of your body. It's just so important. Thanks, everybody.
Also, I'd just like to make an announcement. I'm doing a program at tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I was saying at 10 o'clock. Wait a minute, 10 o'clock tomorrow with Christy Tolley. Christy is a travel writer. Now, there's a lot of people in the travel writing business that get into it just because they just like writing, and then they find out that if they maybe learn a few little simple things, they can make money travel writing. But Christy actually has a journalism degree, and a few years ago she got into travel writing, and she has a very exciting story about all the things she's done and the places she goes, and kinds of excitements. She's a cute little lady too. She's married. She lives in North Carolina, just across the border from South Carolina, and she's a mom. And so we're doing a show that I'm going to call You Can Write. And I think that writing and blogging is something that everybody in network marketing should do.
I'm a lazy blogger. I try to blog 2 to 3 times a week about my product, or I try to put up some health issue or something. And it's okay. I don't know that I could do it for a living, but it's a good avenue.
Well, everybody should do it, really, at least like you're doing. In my case, I got started. I would write reports on the salsa clubs that I would go to many years ago when I was learning how to salsa dance. And I didn't have my own blog at the time, and I would just write about my experience at Tropicana in Houston, and my salsa teacher would put it on his website. But anyway, that's going to be a good program. So look, I'm going to say adios, amigos and amigas.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. It was a pleasure meeting you guys.